Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to today's video. I hope you all had a great weekend. We're back day trading. We upped our share size to now 200 shares, as I said I would in our previous video. We said we completed them first 4 weeks, and now we're up to 200 shares, and we're on the second phase of this journey. And it's great to start off with a green day. We're up $46 as you see here, right there. Shares traded, 200 in, 200 out, so 400 total, and we got a 23-cent gain on OTLK from a short perspective. I'm going to talk about it all in today's video, but there is an important lesson that I'm going to show you on CANF. I think I know a few guys that went along it at a certain area, and it was definitely there to go for, but there's also the other thing you want to keep in mind, and that comes from the shorting perspective. So I'm going to show you this lesson, so stick around for CANF. It should probably it should really help you guys out. So let's talk about the trade. So as I said here, you've got all these stats up here, but you see OTLK, 200 shares in and out, open price. So we got in at 309, we sold at 286. I took profits quick today, and because last week I said basically there was 2 times on 2 different trades where I was up a decent amount of shares, a decent amount of cents per share, and I didn't take the profit, and then it bounced up against me, and I ended up basically getting a scalper like 5 cents when I could have got like overall a 40-cent gain. So today I almost failed that, because you see where I got in here, and I will talk about entries and exits, but I'll quickly say here, but you see from this perspective that I did get in, it bounced down, and what happened? I thought the exact same thing was going to happen again to me. It bounced up, couldn't break this certain resistance area, 315, which I'm going to talk about, and then finally it sold off. And I did have an area down to actually 262, so almost touched it there at 264. But nevertheless, when I had this big sell-off, I saw 286 on the like 285 on the level 2 on the ask, so I got out, and you see we got out at 286. So what's that, a 23-cent gain, and really happy. And that's how I'm going to approach it from unless I'm really confident or really sure that this stock can really drop, because I wasn't as sure with this, because it's such I mean, the float, I can't remember what the float is 100% now. I think it was like 9 million, I think it says on Trade Ideas, but it trades such like a larger float, because you just see the bids and the ask and the way it moved, especially on Friday. It was a bit better today compared to Friday, but so when I got that profit, luckily we got the second chance, and I took it. So let me show you why I got in where I did. So you see I got in at 309, and why I got out. So OTLK, and it was the same thing we talked about actually on Friday. Basically on the daily chart, it's all about gap fills. You see how, let me get rid of this, 262, 292, sorry, just get rid of them type. But this is, you see how this is a gap. So what happened was, on this day it closed at 315, and then the next day it opened up at, opened up at 185. So you see there's a gap to fill, and since it gapped down, never in the history of the, well, not in the daily chart history, that it's come back to that level. And what is it? And then, as we say, gaps love to get filled. It's also running into the 50 EMA, which is great to see. So we've got 2 things there. So that gives us an idea that this is a great area to keep on watch. So with gaps, the main thing to keep to be aware of is 2 things happen when a gap gets filled. It either becomes resistance, and it's going to basically come back to where it came from, potential support areas, or it's going to then become support and then carry on going. So they're the 2 things. So you're going to have to wait and see the reaction. You've got to watch the level 2, watch the charts, and everything such as that. So we can see this 315 area was key. So I allocated shares pre-market, because we got up to that $3 area. It started to fade off, you see right here, but thankfully it curled around, and you can just see straight away what happens here. It breaks through to 315, it gets instantly rejected. That was one sign, but we want the retest. So what happens here, you see it breaks through, and then it fails. And when it fails there, that's a really good confirmation of twice it's failed now at the 315 area, so we can go for a short. And you see on these ones, it took a while, but kept breaking 315, kept getting rejected. As you said, you wanted these candles, if 315, then if these candles come above the 315 line and came to support, then we wouldn't want to be shorting, because this could carry on up. But you see how it just kept becoming resistance, and once it failed there, it failed. It failed great, as you see, all the way down to 264 in the end. But you see where I got in. You see where I got in. So what happened was, let me mark out roughly the 315 area. It's not always the same on this chart in. So yeah, it's like 315 point stuff. We'll just say there. But you see how it breaks 315, gets rejected, breaks again. Now you want to see if this holds. No, it doesn't, fails, and it fails below. So when we get the retest, so I'll wait for the retest. We got the retest, went up to 320. Once I saw the level 2 fail off the 320, I actually put it at 30. I actually done a limit order and put 310, and then I thought, well, if it breaks quick, I'll just put 309. In hindsight, I should just put 310, but it is what it is, and that's where I got in. So you see, as it failed, it went all the way down to 286, and I thought, and I was in an hour, and should I take profit? Should have took profit in hindsight, because that was the plan. That's what I said to myself before. But it curled around, and then luckily, as you said, it went to break 315. I had a stop anyway of high of day. Well, actually, no, I was going to actually get out about the 323 area right here of this candle, because that would be risking almost 15 cents, and I thought I'm only going to get about 20-30 cents anyway. So right there. And then once it fails again, that's just that will be a pretty much the perfect entry there. Or of course, if you can get up here, but you don't really know what's happening there, that would be a perfect entry, because it's failed for the third time. And then once it fails, it's basically people just give up on it. And you see it broke through, and we sold it off. So really happy with the trade. I think sounds quite simple. It can be simple, but a lot of emotions come into play. And at the exact same time, it's curling back up now. See, it's bounced up to the VWAP. But yeah, really happy with that trade. And yeah, I could have got more profit, but no, I'm happy with that. I locked up my profit, and I'll trade again tomorrow. But at the exact same time, CANF was making a move. It started to make a move pre-market, as you see here, making this fantastic move. I actually allocated shares to short, and this is where it's annoying for me, because you see how it makes this great move. It does have some really decent news, but 820 was a resistance area. But you can just see on the chart here, I mean, it's curling back up, so who knows, I might make a trade on it. But let me show you on this, because it's just going to be so much easier to show you. So CANF. So I was keeping my eye, obviously, and watching OTLK, but there's a few areas that I just want to mark out here. The 701 is, I believe, is from the intraday 1 minute chart, but 785 is this wick here. So you see the top of that candle, so I'm seeing that's become an entry. But I just noticed over here at the beginning that it looks like there's some gaps. So what I have to do is I zoom right in on that area. I'm going to zoom right in as much as I possibly can. It's here, just so you guys can see. But you see how this candle here, you see how on this day it gapped up. It basically, you see, had a few days of whatever trading consolidation, whatever you want to call it, and then it gapped down. And in the history of the stock, it only came up to that 785 area. You see that long wick, so it never filled this gap, this closing price of 820. And what happens? As you said, gaps love to be filled. Gaps can become resistance or then turn into support. So we've got to see what happens. We've got to see the reaction of that stock. And this is all from a shorting perspective, but this is the important thing. You can use this from a longing perspective, because I know a few guys that went to long here, and not to say it was the wrong decision, but it can be risky, you know, this candle, because it basically got faked out. But yeah, it could have gone back up to higher day. So it's just one of them things to keep in mind. Me personally, I'd want to see it back up above 820, then become support. Then we've got that bit more confirmation that it's going to carry on higher. But you see here perfectly what happens here. It breaks up to basically 845. It pulls back, and then it basically can't hold that 820 level. Look, resistance. This is just, I'm in OTLK, and I'm only going to trade one stock at a time, and I just see this, and I'm like, oh my god, this is perfect. 820 is just absolutely perfect resistance. And then what happens? It goes all the way down on this candle to 724. So I'm in OTLK thinking, why am I trading? And this OTLK is going sideways at the time. I'm thinking, just why am I in that stock when I see this? And I thought I made the wrong choice, but oh well. And you see how what happens is I marked off the 701 area, basically the $7 area, just from the intraday chart. But you see how it comes all the way down pretty much to the $7 area. It bounces up to 785. That's that other candle area we get. And now you see 785 and 820 just becoming them resistance. This was just a perfect entry. Basically, I should have put my order at $8. Once I see it failing 8, I get in at 8, basically the $8 mark. Risk off the 820 area, but you got a basically a 3 to 1, 4 to 1, or even maybe 5 to 1. You get down to 7 ratio here. And then you see it just fails once again. It's good now, but I mean, you just see how these lines come into play, this previous history, because what happens, it's not a coincidence that they're stopping at these areas. They're like magnet areas, they're history of the chart. I mean, it could have come up to 770 or 769 or 790 or whatever, but where's it coming right up to 785? I mean, even 775 is the more of a resistance line because it's them quarter dollar numbers. But yeah, now it's come up to 785 and it hasn't broken. So when it can't break, it's pulling back, and that's what stocks do. If they can't break, they pull back, and then they might retest, and that's what we wait for. So just hope that makes sense. I hope that guide helps you not just to get good entries on a shorting perspective, but to get good entries from your longing perspective, and knowing should you long here, because you know it's curling back around, it's looking good, but then you've got to keep in mind, but we still have that major resistance up ahead. So we either have to be going to long it and be very quick, or we just wait for the confirmation of the stock to break. But anyway, that's it, guys. Once again, we're up $46. We're up 23 cents per share. First day trading with 200 shares, and another green day. I mean, it's been ridiculous. So happy with how everything's going. Once again, as I said, this profit is pre-commissions, pre-allocation. I think my allocation fees, because I allocated 200 shares now and the CANF, which I didn't take. My allocation fees were about $9 something. I think my fees are going to be, I'm not 100% because it's gone up a bit. I think my fees will be about $6 total. So we should be up about a good $30 odd plus on the day. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.